there's going to be people, I'm telling you, during this ascension that get, it's like, there's this part of the ascension where here we are in the negative paradigm where it's based in, has been based in to a large extent, lack, um, competition, being against, right? You're in competition for resources, being against, and therefore limitation and destruction. Limit and destroy everybody's ability to threaten my well-being. Well, we're flipping into the species paradigm of abundance. No one has to worry about having enough of anything. That's when you're raised in your vibration like that, it's an illusion, it's a hallucination that you're doing without or that you have a problem. And most people know it. It went in that version of the species that we're moving into. Christ never thought he was doing without or, right? It's the Christic consciousness. So anyway, abundance, um, uh, support. As in, we're all fine, we have everything we need, and we're for each other's, our own well-being and everybody's. Everybody's for everybody. And so it's abundance and support and a for, yes, a for everything, and joyful creativity. It's a whole different paradigm, and that's what we're moving to. We're the bridge in between you guys. And so I have noticed and I think I've heard higher dimensionals mention this. Sometimes you can get tired, like kind of, it's like, oh, just hearing what you hear, and I'm starting to understand why people throw away all their electronic everything and just go sit out in the woods off the grid. Here's the thing though is, okay, even in that situation, the thing to be thinking about, okay, I'm clearly vibrating where this is becoming difficult and really hard to be in. It feels so unsettled. Okay, is there can I vibrate where it's already done? Yes, and have it happen so quick. Can I vibrate with, really, I know who and what I am. I am source consciousness showing up here as Brittany, Mary, Stephanie. Um, I'm source consciousness showing up in this perspective, and learning all about my creative empowerment, right? On this pathway of realization of my who and what I really am and my creative empowerment. So that means I get to show up and do whatever I want with that, which means I have the ability to vibrate where it's not wearing me out. There's nothing to wear me out. The analogy that keeps coming up, and it was just here really clearly. I see. Thank you. We've got the higher dimensionals here, and I've the Arcturians and others, but um, we're going to be talking about just. I'm going to throw this word out, worthiness. But think of it this way: you are a playwright. You all the storyline. You've written it. It's in there. And there might have been a whole bunch of different ways you could go with it too. I mean, you're the writer, right? You could have a whole bunch of different, and within that, all the characters, you're creating those characters. So in some way, they're part of you, right? And writers will say, boy, that character in that book I was writing, they just went off on, you know, right, because there was a part of that writer, an aspect of that writer that was vibrating in that perspective, and it went. How creative it, right? That's what's going on. And so we're like the writer of the play. We agree that there's, first of all, we're agreeing that there's even an earth construct and cosmos to come play in. And within that, there's all the versions of it that it could be. Uh, the lack, uh, you know, competition, separation based, the cooperation, full abundance, well-being for everybody, creative based, and everything. And there's so many versions of what it could be. You and I, individually, choose which version to vibrate in of what we see going on. So some of us are going around not that aware that, if at all, that there's this ascension of consciousness. Other people are around very aware that there is, but maybe haven't been following the energetic, spiritual details of it the way we do. Um, and there are people that are having a terrible, terrible time, and people who aren't having a bad time at all. There are so many versions of what's going on. Some people are seeing the possibilities of what the U.S. government is doing. Absolutely a possibility, that because it's right out of Hitler's playbook. Of course, it's a possibility that in one version the country goes into absolute authoritarianism. But there are other versions where, yeah, no one stands for that. That's not the way it goes. I mean, there's so many versions. So not only are we creating the story, the play, we're then inhabiting it as a character and choosing and vibrating in the version of it that we vibrate in. And there's one more layer. So there's three layered thing. And within that, say you're vibrating in the version that has kind of things going really hard on people, really going rough on people here for the next few years. That's what you're vibrating in. That's what's going on. You still have the option of having vibrating in the experience that you personally have. Are you maybe gonna sit there and watch people have horrible, horrible time? Is your role gonna be to, within that, help other people and give away food and money, be an activist, in certain group, whatever? Or is your role going to be, I was so smart and I put the money away that I need. I'm good. There are so many ways you personally could experience that. So it's almost like that Russian nesting doll. We are the writer of the entire story. We hold all the possible stories as the source consciousness. Within that, we are also here experiencing it. So it's like we're the writer of the play. We choose which version of that story. We create the characters in it, and we're an actor in it. And we're an actor in it. And here's where everything we're doing together, you guys, in these meetings and in sessions and in all the different seminars and classes you attend and meditations, it is possible to have it be just like that. You're aware that you're an actor in this version of this story and that this is the role you're choosing to play. But at all times, you have creative at all layers. Which version of the story am I vibrating in? And then what's my character going to be? And what's my role in this? And what's my experience going to be? And it's like, so, Al Pacino can completely inhabit a character he's playing in whatever movie I don't even remember now what all he's been in so much. He can completely inhabit that character and feel and like react and feel like kind of what that character feels. But he always knows he's Al Pacino showing up as that character. That's what I'm circling back here to. We have the ability. There we go. This meeting started this morning in my meditate, or this morning, and there are so many powerful openings, updates. Things aren't being done to you. It's openings and updates for you to uh, resonate with what's been activated and made very easy. Um, you can start walking around being very, very aware that you are source consciousness showing up in this version of the story as this character, having the experience you're having, and that you have, yes, I am going to say complete creative control. Now, you don't get to control someone else's, right? They're gonna vibrate with maybe a different version of the story. They may see themselves in a different role than you see them in.